there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video for some assemblage required, which means I'm going to be using some awesome product from MK's store, and the link for that will be down below for you in case you are interested in purchasing anything from her shop. I am also participating in Baby Got Scraps, which means I'm using as much scrap as I can. Basically, the series is that you use scrap paper or 6x6 or 6x8 paper pads. You don't use any full-size sheets except for the background paper. And in this case, I'm not actually using a background paper. I'm just using the white paper below to make sure that I cut or adhere these two pieces of paper together as a 12 by 12, and I'm not off by like a quarter of an inch or something like that. So I was just showing you that the leafy paper there is from Cartabella's, I think it's called Spring Market, whatever was on that little branding strip I held up, that's what it was from. And then the green piece, I'm not 100% sure where that's from, but it is a really deep green and I really like it. I've got photos of my kids and my niece playing mini golf many years ago. They are teens in these photos. I think this is 2010. And so I'm kind of just playing around with where I want things to sit. I am going monochromatic with this layout. I do love a monochromatic layout. I think that they are a lot of fun, and I personally find them super easy to do. So if I didn't think it would bore everyone, I would probably do way more monochromatic layouts than I already do. But anyway, I have all of these little golf acrylic people, and I absolutely love that some of them are men, some are women, and some are children. So you can use it for mini golf, or you can use it for, 18-hole full-on golf. Just don't use the little tiny people if you want. So whatever it is that you are into as far as golf, this pack of people will work for you. So I decided to come up with a title that was 6 letters long because I have 6 golf people in this pack, and I wanted to use every single one of them, which I know that's a little overkill. That's not normally my MO. I don't normally go, I'm just going to use this entire pack of embellishments on a layout, but I decided that's what I was going to do this time. So my title is Up to Par, and it's just a play on a golf pun or whatever, play on golf. And I decided to use the number 2 instead of the letters because I needed 6 letters. And you'll see why here in just a bit. You can kind of already tell I'm going to layer my little golf people on top of my title, but I am going to ink up my golf people so they are a different color. I am inking up the outside of the letters that I cut there with Catherine Pooler ink, and the color is Martini. It's a beautiful green, and I know it's kind of hard to see on screen, but it's kind of like that green that leans a little bit toward yellow, and I really like it. So I am just inking up those letters, and I chose a big bold font for this purposefully because I want you to still be able to read the words, but I want them to be kind of a grounding spot or for these people to sit on. Hopefully that makes sense. If I had chosen a kind of swirly font, the words would be lost underneath and the people would be very overpowering. So I needed something bold enough that the little acrylic people have a really good base for them. So now I'm just testing out some alcohol inks in green, and this particular box that I have here, I think it's by Picasso or something like that. I don't end up using those ones. I end up pulling out some other Pinata ink, alcohol ink, and these are inks that my sister-in-law gave me, so I've had them for quite a while. I don't use alcohol ink often, but I find that I'm using it a little bit more now that I have a lot of white acrylic I can alter, so I think that's kind of fun. So the neat thing is that you're never going to get a solid color really out of this. They're going to be kind of that mottled look or watercolored look effect where they're lighter in some areas and darker in other areas. And I think that looks really cool. And inside that little medicine cup is just 91% isopropyl alcohol. And then I am using a little dropper or pipette, actually, in this case. It's just a little plastic pipette that is dropping some ink onto them, because when I drop it out of the bottle, it is really, really concentrated, and it's like almost too dark. But I don't want to, like, if I drop the color into the cup of alcohol, it's not dark enough. So I'm just using it to kind of control the depth of color that is on the people. And then as you can see there, I'm going back and I am dipping them in the ink again and drying them again. So that gives me kind of several layers of ink. And if you decided you didn't want them, whatever color you started with, you could use that isopropyl alcohol and wash them off. And it pretty much removes most of the color, if not all of the color. I think there are some colors that kind of stain, like red would probably stain a bit. But for the most part, it washes it off very well. So that is the nice thing about alcohol ink. You can clean it up with some rubbing alcohol and call it a day. So I'm liking the way that these are turning out. I am obviously using my heat tool to kind of just heat them up and dry them quickly. And that works well for alcohol. As you know, if you've ever used alcohol before, which I think almost everyone has, it dries very quickly. So just applying a little heat there really helps to get through the process quickly. And then to clean up my mat, I have a towel that is off to the side. I put a little bit of alcohol on it and just wipe my mat up. It cleans up really easily. Actually, just using the alcohol out of the little medicine cup there will do the job as well. Okay, now that I've got my little people all cleaned up, I'm going to pull my layout back out and I'm going to start assembling my layout. At least I think that's what I'm doing next. It's been a few days since I've done this layout. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assemble my layout, and I'm just going to put some ATG over the bottom portion of my paper there so that I can adhere it to the other green sheet, and then I can put my white paper away. And there was a missing spot on the green sheet there, so it's where the ATG gun, the stickiness is kind of coming through, so I just used my adhesive eraser and erased that off. And I decided for sure to have that big thick green section at the bottom so that my title is really big and bold. And I basically measured how big that spot was and fit my letters to it on my silhouette when I was creating the title. I just measured it and made sure they would fit height-wise, and then of course on the mat 12 by 12 width-wise is pretty easy to tell. So I'm liking the way that this is looking. I also like that with this white acrylic, I can peel the back off and I can use them in either direction. So I could turn some of the people facing whichever direction I needed. That was really handy, and I really like the way that that worked. I do have this green sheet out of, this is from one of the Chamel collections. It's from Go Now Go. And I'm not sure, that wasn't in my scrap bin, so I'm not sure. I have my Chamel scrap separate because I'm weird that way and because I love all of her stuff. But I must have looked in there for something and came out with this piece. And so I went ahead and used the stripes, but I wanted to keep them vertical because I really like the pattern. It kind of brings that dark up to the light and the light down to the dark, because it's got the whites, it's got the light greens, it's got the dark greens. It was like the perfect piece of paper to use for as a kind of like a branding strip across where the two other pieces of paper meet. The green little piece at the top that I just tucked in with the lines on it, that is from Paige Evans. I want to say it's from her Horizons collection, and it's out of the 6x6 or 6x8 mini pad. And then the green rectangular piece up at the top there is from, let's see here, I think it's Simple Stories. No, it's not. It's from I think it's from Coco Vanilla's No Limits. Anyway, it was from a piece that I was using back in November for Kit Conspiracy, and so it was just a leftover piece. So that's why I decided to pull that in. I am inking all of those pieces up with some more black soot distress ink just to provide continuity throughout and to just give everything a little bit of pop. I do know that like the letters at the bottom are inked in green, not in black, but everything else is in black. And so I'm liking how that is all coming together, and I think these guys look super cute down here at the bottom. And I'm really excited I was able to use like a whole set of them. I know that seems really weird, like maybe you should use them for more than one, but honestly I don't actually have a ton of golfing photos. And you know, my kids are a little older here, and I've done a lot of their like mini golf type stuff already in prior years. So I don't have that many where they're out golfing because at this point they're already teenagers, and you know, they weren't hanging out with mom that often. So this group of photos is actually from a day we spent at a local place called Boomers, and they've got, well, they're not super local, they're about 40 minutes from us, but they've got mini golf, they've got bumper boats, and laser tag, and go-karts. And we spent a lot of time there over their teenage years, where we would go as a homeschool, not as a homeschool group, but we would go with their homeschool friends, and they would all hang out there. And so like I said, I just don't have a ton of the golf photos. They spent most of their time, honestly, on the go-karts, because at this point, most of them were not able to drive yet. Actually, I don't even think my niece is able to drive in these photos, but, yeah, they weren't able to drive yet. So that was like a hot thing, you know, they get to drive on their own on the go-kart track. And so they really enjoyed that. And sometimes when we'd go, it would be too cold to do bumper boats, and laser tag, you can't get photos because they're indoors inside of a dark room. And so I don't have a ton of photos from these things, except for I do have a ton of go-karting photos. So I'm just happy to have these photos. I do have a set of the bumper boats that are going to be coming up on another video before long here. And I'm pretty happy with the way that this came out. I did decide to use the golf title. I wasn't going to originally. So this one says par for the course, and it comes with that little white T there. And originally I wasn't going to use it, but I definitely needed something up in this upper left-hand corner. And I thought, you know what, why not use the two items that kind of pair together? Like they were designed to go together. You might as well use them. You could use them independently. You don't have to use them together, but I thought I might as well go ahead and use them. And that is it, you guys. That is my layout in total. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, you can always leave those down below. I'm happy to answer any of those that you may have. And if you are interested in any of these products, go and check them out at someassemblagerequired.com. MK will have a ton of other sports represented as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.